Welcome back to the Built Local podcast. Today we have Brandon calling in from Scoopy Doo. How are you doing today, Brandon?
I am quite well, out working.
Awesome. Yeah. Brandon's showing us the real life, what it's like to be a business owner. You know, somebody calls off, got to leave, and so you got to go pick up where they left off. So Brandon's giving us the real deal today, nothing fake. So I'm happy to have you on, even though you might have to be on the road right now. But Brandon, for anybody who doesn't know about you or your business, tell us a little bit about it.
So Scoopy Doo started actually with my daughter, who is 13 now. She approached me. I own 3 other businesses as well. And she approached me and said, "Daddy, you own all these other businesses. Why can't we own one together?" And that was December of 24. And I said, okay, there's no reason we can't own a business together, so let's do it. And we came up with some ideas, and pet waste removal is what we landed on. And it was really just we really have no competition in the area, and it was easy to rank for and easy to get into, lots of just a low barrier for entry altogether. So I decided it was the thing to start with her, and we actually pushed go on July 15th of 25, and that was, you had the LLC and the website and everything ready. So everything went live and marketing started on the 15th of July. And here we are, 8 months later, and we are sitting at over 100 customers. We're like 115, and we are grossing over $100,000 a year in annual recurring revenue.
Awesome. That's incredible. That is very very awesome. A lot of people listening to that want to get to that stage, and so you've grown quickly. What have you done marketing wise to be able to grow that fast?
So I literally bought my way into the market. I had access to capital, so I went straight for the throat. I hired a marketing agency to do my ads, and they were really good. Facebook ads, Google ads is really the only way to go. I've been in some print ads, and those didn't really do much. They just don't do anything in our industry. But I literally threw some money at everything, and Facebook is the king of ads for this industry. Google is a pretty close second. So now that I've got traction in the industry, if you search anything related to pet waste in my area, Southeast Tennessee, you're going to find me. And that's Facebook and Google. That's really what we put our money in, and it didn't really take that much.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And I think a great thing about Facebook is you're able to do some interruption-based marketing for people who might not be searching for it. I think it's growing obviously very rapidly, but there's still a lot of people that don't know this is even a service that's offered. And so being able to get put in front of people in your area and put your offer in front of them is a great way to grow fast. So with that marketing agency, walk us through what that process was like hiring that one. Were they local? Did you interview a lot of people? Because that's something that a lot of people struggle with. Like, who should I hire?
I was actually familiar with doing it myself. I was just going to do it, but I joined a school group called Poop Scoop Millionaire that had a bunch of folks in it. And someone actually approached me and said, "Hey, if you haven't hired anybody yet, we'd like a shot at it. We're kind of new, and here's this kind of special deal we'll give you." And I took it. I had nothing to lose there. I had time and I had money, so I let them give it a shot. And man, they were awesome. So the process was really short for me. They approached me 3 or 4 days later. I said yes, signed a contract with them, and we were off and rolling.
Cool. That's incredible. Well, how did you and your daughter, how did y'all discover the poop scooping industry?
I think it was me, actually. I'm always keeping my ear to the ground for side hustles that might be profitable. And when this one came up, and I looked at literally every angle of it, like, why is this bad? How can we screw this up? And you can't. I mean, you can enter with no money and do organic, Facebook posts and local network marketing with networking groups and stuff, and get off the ground with literally no money, or you can throw a bunch of money at it like I did and end up with $100,000 business in just a few months. I mean, there was just so many upsides to this business that I just couldn't say no. There's no equipment involved. I mean, that was my main thing. I didn't really have to sink a whole bunch of capital into equipment. For a couple $100, we had everything we needed to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Real quick, if you're a local business owner and you want to start getting customers from Google, you know how important Google reviews are. Every week, I talk to business owners just like you across hundreds of industries who know reviews matter, but never seem to have the time or the system in place to actually get them. That's exactly why I've spent the last 2 years building Review Harvest. We built it with a non-tech savvy business owner in mind, so anybody can set it up in minutes and start getting reviews today. It automates the process of getting real reviews from your customers, responding to those reviews, and repurposing them across your website, website and across your social media platforms. It's a set it and forget it software. You can get it all set up in about 10 minutes and you never have to worry about reviews again. We can integrate into the tools you're already using so you don't have to change a thing. You don't have to train your team on how to request reviews. You don't have to request them manually. You get customers, we get your reviews. It's simple as that. And the first play in our playbook is what we call a review reactivation. You probably have hundreds or thousands of previous customers who loved your service but never left your review. So a lot of times our users can double or even triple their reviews just in the first couple months of working with us when we do that review reactivation. Well, what about some trials and tribulations? Obviously, it probably came with a few. So what were some kind of unexpected downsides that y'all learned while y'all got started, and how did y'all kind of overcome those?
I figured the market would be a little bit easier to penetrate in our area, but it took like a few months for the traction that I'm seeing now. It was really educating the general public that this was a viable business, and nobody had ever come into my area and done the kind of advertising that I'd done. There are others, side hustlers in the area doing it, but they had never run ads, and it wasn't widely known in this area. So educating the general public that this business is here and viable and we're real, and still I get every new ad I put up, people LOLing and you're lazy if you don't pick up after your own dogs, and really educating the customer was our biggest hurdle. And we just have so much traction now. I've got referral business. This is our big game time, spring right now, and I've got the ads turned off as of this morning because I just can't handle anything else right now.
Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, when did y'all, you said you had somebody that had to call off, so when did y'all hire your first technician? How many clients did y'all have?
I had about 70 when I hired my first technician, and I was still hanging on to running my other businesses, which I've now divested myself of. Mostly I've hired people to do what I was doing because this one is just taking off so quickly. So 70 was my first one, and I just hired another one last week, and actually she's the one that had to leave early today that has me out here doing this. But so we're at 115 now, and I'll probably wait to hire anyone else until I get over 200.
Gotcha. Yeah. What are some expectations for people listening who might have 20 or 30 and they're struggling to grow? How many routes, how many yards should one technician be able to do in a week?
One technician should be able to do at least 100 in a week. We've got some commercial customers now already, so 100 residential yards, no problem. Throw in one or two commercials, no problem. We've got a few more than that, so the commercials take all the time, but that's where all the profit is.
What are you doing to get the commercial clients?
Nothing. They have been coming to me.
Hey, that's great. And what is your service offering? What is your service offering for them? Is it stations and some scooping? Just stations? What are y'all doing? Stations
and scooping.
Okay. Y'all scooping the common areas, or like where
Yes.
Specifically are y'all scooping on the
common
properties?
areas? Yeah. The people that are lazy, the dog station might be right there by them, and they still don't do it. So we're servicing the stations on all 5 of the commercial properties and doing the common area scooping. In fact, they're all 5 the same management company. Once I got my foot in the door with one of their properties, I just did the research and found out all 5 of the other ones and went to one of them, and then the other 4 called me.
Okay. That's awesome. That's incredible. Well, obviously, I've read your reviews and people rave about y'all. So what do y'all do to keep clients happy? How do y'all make sure you maintain quality as y'all are even growing so fast?
It's tough. We have had some quality issues. I've lost 2 customers that I can think of because one of my scoopers missed some stuff. And, I think some of these customers, because it's a higher, it's more of a luxury service, they expect it to be perfect every time. And the fact is, we're human. And I offer a very strong guarantee. If you see something we miss, we'll come right back and get it, no problem. And still, it is quality issues that have been hard to overcome with some of these new people. I had to fire that guy. He lost me 2 customers in the same week. It is really tough to get people to care about your business as much as you care about it.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, before we get back to the video, if you're a local business owner and you're serious about getting more customers from Google, I want to invite you to our free school community linked down below. Inside, you'll get weekly coaching calls where I can personally help you one-on-one so you're never stuck wondering what to do next to get more customers. Once you join, we'll give you a custom-built ranking report to show you exactly how you're ranking against your competitors, and then we'll even show you the next couple things you can do to start ranking higher. We do all of these reports manually to make sure they're done right. You'll get our 50,000 Google review script, the same script we've used to help hundreds of businesses get over 50 50,000 reviews, showing you what to say, when to request a review, how to follow up, and get that review without being annoying or awkward. And you'll even get a step-by-step checklist on how to optimize your Google Business Profile to make sure you're ranking at the top of Google. Sometimes you're making a few tweaks on that Google Business Profile can be the difference between never showing up on Google and dominating your area. All in all, you'll get access to a community of business owners and experts trying to grow their business just like you. It's a safe space to ask questions and get more tailored one-on-one advice. It's 100% free. I don't have a coaching program or a course to sell you. Just click the link down below, join the community. We'd love to see you inside. Yeah, for sure. Well, and how much is your daughter involved? What is her role in the company since y'all started it together?
And she has moved more into like the social media manager role. Of course, she's 13. She'll be 14 in May, and she's online all the time. So I've got her figuring out and designing and all of our Facebook posts, and she's taking the reins on that stuff.
Awesome.
She is out here scooping with me sometimes mainly because I make her do it. Really, just as a work ethic thing. If she's got to learn that if she's ever going to start any other business of her own, and she's expressed that interest, that she's going to have to be able to get out here and be in the field to actually do the work and know it like the back of her hand before she can train other people to do it. And I think she gets it now. And teaching her the roles of the business in general, like all the back end stuff that your regular, like getting out of corporate America person that didn't go to business school doesn't understand. Those things are hard to teach a 13-year-old. How to do profit and loss statements, how to calculate the lifetime value of a customer and your churn rate and all that stuff. Those are things that I had to teach her that some people just don't understand. And if you don't know your numbers, you can't be profitable.
For sure. Yeah, and they're not teaching it in schools either. So they got to learn it somewhere if they're going to do it.
No, at least not elementary and middle school. I mean, she might learn it in high school or something, but anyway.
Well, y'all have grown so fast. The fact that y'all have a 6-figure business in less than 8 months is incredible, and there's so many people I'm sure that envy that, especially in this industry. So what are your plans for growth over the next couple of years? Where do you see Scoopy-Doo in 3 or 4 years?
I see us having at least 3 more locations, so probably 4 locations total around the southeast here within a 1 or 2 hour drive of where we're at in southeast Tennessee. I think we'll probably be in 2 or 3 years, we'll definitely be over in the millions, but I hope to be in the multiple millions. I'm going to keep throwing money at it as fast as I can. I put everything back in the business, so I'm just going to take the snowball effect and I'm going to roll it into everything I can to get more business.
Yeah, no, of course. That's awesome. It's awesome. So there's still so many people that aren't willing to invest in their business, and they try to just take every penny out of the business, and then they wonder why it's not growing, right?
Yeah, and that's a tough lesson to learn. If you start it with no money, that's where and no experience in entrepreneurship, that's where people end up. They see $3,000 or $4,000 in their bank account, and they take it out and spend it. And then before they know it, they've got business expenses that they can't afford, and then the next thing they know, they're out of business. It's a hard lesson to learn that you got to keep the money in there, you got to keep it rolling, and it's always an uphill battle.
For sure. Going in, segue and talk about how happy your customers are. We've seen it in your reviews. What has your experience been like with Review Harvest?
Man, I love Review Harvest. You guys have got me so many reviews. I actually tried to cancel my Review Harvest just because I didn't figure I needed it right now because I got so many reviews from you guys. And then I thought, why would I do that? They're so good at what they do. I mean, we've had Review Harvest since almost the very beginning. I think we had like maybe 30 reviews, and now we're 73, I think, and we should have more than that. And I know those are coming. The experience has been great. It's awesome to have somebody doing that for me where I don't have to go in and consciously go into my Google My Business and copy that link and send it to everybody. It just happens on its own now. And I like that a lot. So I think I'm going to keep y'all around for a while now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, when you started with us, you had around 11 reviews, and now you've got 72. So it's only been a few months, and I'm sure we can get you turned back on and get those reviews coming in again. But yeah, no, Brandon, awesome. I always it's turned off right now, but we can talk about that off air. We can get it back on.
Yeah, okay.
So I always like to kind of close out with what's one piece of advice that you would have for somebody that's in the home service business or they're in poop scooping and they're trying to grow. What's one piece of wisdom that you would share with them?
Start. START. Just do it. That is analysis paralysis kills more people in starting anything on their own, and people just think it to death. And starting is you have to start somewhere, and once you start the first thing, you've got to do the next thing. keep it rolling.
For sure. Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, Brandon, we'll have all your links down below in the description. So if somebody is in the area and they need poop scooping services, we'll have that linked down below. But Brandon, we really appreciate you hopping on today and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.